Before we get started, I just wanted to mention that if you did not check out yesterday's video, which was a channel update, I highly recommend you do. A lot of things have changed around here in the blink of an eye, including the fact that I am now on Patreon, and this is going to be a thing either at the beginning of every video or the end of every video. But a quick shout out to my patrons in that $10 Emmy tier: Christian, DTP17, Dylan Woods, George Palm, Jonathan Carton, Paul, Pyrogod, Tiltom, Tom Spradlin, and Zexus101. The fact that some people have already taken that step blows my fucking mind, and I love each and every one of you. Let's get into the video. Hey, what's up, guys? Tuki here, back again with another episode. Episode 2 of A Nation United Russian Edition. The last episode, we went through the expansion draft. Of course, we weren't able to actually draft that many Russians, which isn't that surprising, but we did surprisingly get a decent foundation with the players that we were able to find. Vitaly Kravtsov, of course, being the gem, but even a useful player now like Barbashev, Goldobin, Guryanov, Trenin, and Kamenev, it's decent enough. Defensively, yeah, Renat Valyev, that's about it. And then goaltending-wise, I did done goof. I should have picked Georgiev from the New York Rangers. However, I mistook the fact that he was, I think, Belarusian? But he actually plays for the Russian national team. So we could have taken him. We didn't. Ultimately, it's not the end of the world. In today's episode, though, we get down to business. We set this team up for our first season. Unfortunately, the free agent pool isn't great because everyone's under contract, obviously. So pretty much all I can do is fill out the roster with Russian players. I'm not going to worry about immediately getting rid of every single player that isn't Russian. That's just way too much work and a waste of time when it really doesn't have to be. So, the non-Russian players that are on this team right now, they're going to stay. As taking a look here, we need about 3 defensemen, 2 goaltenders, and then we can just fill this out with as many forwards as possible. So I am very intrigued to see how this first roster pans out. Obviously, this first season, we're going to need a little bit of luck in terms of hopefully, the lottery treats us well. And if it doesn't, then, that first round pick we could use to trade to go out and get somebody. So the good thing is no matter what, draft picks have their use, even if we have to go out and get slightly better players or, get slightly more established players instead of younger players that we can build around. Do we seriously not have a Russian goalie? Like, really? Not even one, let alone 2? Are you serious? I mean, obviously, there's it's less likely to have Russians in the game because obviously the KHL isn't in the game. Okay, so you know what we're going to do? Screw it. Langman, congratulations. We're going to sign you for the hell of it. And who else wants less than an entry-level deal? This dude. Yeah, congratulations. So it was funny, though, because I was looking over the comment section before starting this. Obviously, a lot of Russian puns, which I imagine will continue to be a thing. Feel free to leave your best Russian puns about anything. Just don't be offensive or a douche. But I'm sure, hey, Chris Summers, I have a Portland Pirates jersey signed, game worn, from, Chris Summers. He's great. He's great. Anyway, what's not great, still no Russians. This is brutal. Oh my God. Jimmy Schultz shouldn't be a free agent, but you know what? Whatever. Okay, screw it. We'll just sign the worst people again because I do not want to waste that much time. But, the one thing, too, that kind of really overwhelmed, the common theme in the comment section was like, hey, maybe this guy, and then people responding to themselves being like, nope, never mind, looked it up. It's tough, man. It's tough. Spot the Russians, not always the easiest thing to do. That's why I use the Chris Gibson comparison, where it's like, this guy's not finished, he is 1,000% finished, and boy, did I catch heat for not picking him up when we ran the Finland series last year. It's just kind of the way these series work. I am going to miss a player or 7 in a draft like that. So we're just going to have to sign the worst of the worst here to help fill out this roster for year 1. So Yeah, it's gonna be a bad year. And again, the only way we're getting better, Fishbook, the legend. Sorry, the only way we're gonna get better is if we have some damn good draft lottery luck and actually have players available that fit the bill of being a Russian that we can actually draft. Now, we did a test run of this in NHL 19, and my God, did I have one hell of a time trying to build a defense, because NHL 19 simply did not want to generate good Russian defensemen. So maybe Don Cherry was involved in the process of that. Oh, God, what do you mean, you people? Anyway. Oh, boy, I'm leaving this in. I'm leaving this part in. Screw it. Whatever. We're good to go. It's fine. You get the point. A lot of luck here needs to be on our side to make this work, as we have a trade. James Neal and Zach Cassian to Winnipeg for a first and a second. I turned trading back on after the draft. I was thinking maybe I'll leave it off so we could see what teams look like, but I turned it off in the Florida series, of course, if you saw that first episode. We turned it back on here, so at least with this series, we'll be able to see what some of the crazy trades are that the AIs make when they, are actually allowed to with the default rosters. Are you out of your mind, EA? See, this is why I turned trades off in the Florida series, because it was actually interesting to me to see what the AI, how the teams would perform when the AI couldn't fuck everything up. And now that the AI has free reign, Ottawa gets a first and a third for Mark Borowiecki and Tyler Ennis. So, yeah, another one. Mikhail Bodker and Ron Hainsey. Ottawa just stocking up on first rounders. I think that's Ty Lewis who goes back in the deal as well. Ottawa is in full fire sale mode. We will absolutely see what their roster looks like on opening day, because good God, what even is this? What even is this at this point? Jesus. What a friggin' nightmare that was, just to see the AI rip, like the Sens just full on fire sale right out of the gates. So anyway, our team this year, that's the goaltending tandem, DeRozier and Boyle. Defense, that's about right. Let's call up Chaz Redekop, I guess. I do kind of need more defensemen, but it's too late. The AHL would assign people already. And then forward-wise, we have our 10, 11, and 12. 13 with Sokolov. So Curtis Gabriel, for sure, can be sent down. 66 Gabriel is the best of the bunch. So that's 10, 11, 12, 13. Injuries are on because I hate myself. Let's send down Clark Bishop randomly. Why the hell not? So we'll see how that goes for us. I mean, there is the debate over whether or not some of these younger guys should be played perhaps a little bit earlier than you would expect them to be played in the NHL. But I think I'm going to go for it. And we're going to see what the hell happens with these guys. And if we feel like it's stunting their development to be on a team that's just getting the hell kicked out of them all the time, we'll make a change from there. But for now, God, that AHL team is brutal. For now, we will move forward like this. So the only thing I have to do is fix me up some scouts. And I figured why not jump cut it, because, yeah, it's not very interesting to just watch me move a bunch of scouts over to Russia. But yeah, that's done. Over and done with. Let's sim to the beginning of the season. I don't know who our initial captain's going to be. It's a decent shot of it being Artem Anisimov. I mean, he's going to be the best player on the team. And we absolutely have to look at what the Ottawa Senators look like at this point, because that team might actually be able to compete with us for the worst record in the league at this point. It's going to be bad. I just realized the morale system's still on too. Oof. I think we have to send down all of our younger guys because of the morale system. Otherwise, I think they're just gonna get ripped apart. You know what? Nope, we're leaving them. Sink or swim, damn it. Sink or swim. It's gonna work. It's gonna work. We are gonna throw them to the Wolves and hope for the best. I regret it already. But that is exactly what is going to happen. Artem Anisimov is going to be the captain. Barbashev and Goldobin, because, I mean, let's be honest, unless we give it to Renat Valiev. Could give it to Kravtsov, that's a bit early. Barbashev gets a letter. Kamenev, you know what? Yeah, screw it. Just the three that had the letters to begin with. That's who gets the letters. Artem Anisimov is going to be leading this team. Scary proposition, I know. Very, very scary. But let's see what Ottawa looks like at this point, shall we? You know, it actually might have been for the best, because now they get to play guys like Batherson, Brown, and Balcers at the NHL level. And defensively, Brandstrom, Wolanin as the third pairing. I mean, they're not going to be a great team, but that honestly might have been better for them to make those particular moves. So fair play to the Ottawa Senators. Now, before we start simming, because again, this first season, who cares? Here are the ratings. Jersey-wise, this is what we came up with. We kept it kind of basic, based it off of some World Junior jerseys from a couple of years ago. Just wanted to get you a quick look at that and a quick look at the ratings. Let's get what is going to be a miserable first season over and done with. This is going to be brutal. We are going to absolutely suck, even though we barely lost to Calgary and we beat Buffalo before getting killed by Pittsburgh. Okay, then. This is going to be weird, isn't it? Now, the top Russian in the draft, the top Russians, we have Rodion Amirov, who we added to the game. And, of course, Yaroslav Oskarov, who has to be the target. There's also Shakir Mukhamadulin, who I definitely want to pick up, and I'm sure you guys want me to as well, just so I can say his name all the time. And a computer-generated Nikolai Kulemin, who could also be decent. So already, this first-year draft is shaping up to be decent. It's shaping up in a way that might allow us to actually do relatively well out of the gates in terms of picking up players. Although, you know, about time we make the playoffs this year. Because with this record, who's to say? We might actually be able to. Because damn. How have we won this many games already? It just doesn't make sense. So yeah. Yeah, just doesn't make sense. But hey, you know how frustrating it is to watch this team be this close to 500? Do you know how frustrating it is? I'm sure you do, because anybody that's played NHL 20 has probably had a super good team just completely fall apart. Completely. So yeah. Yeah, I'm not talking about San Jose. What? I didn't say anything. What are you talking about? San Jose? Who was talking about San Jose? Why would I be talking about the San Jose? Come on. I didn't say anything. San Jose. Jesus. Imagine talking about that, a team that isn't mine, that I don't have to worry about anymore. Imagine. Let's just go best lines down in the AHL. I might regret having injuries on for the early stages of this, but it doesn't bother me too much. Philippe Mallet, of course, is good to go. We get absolutely crushed. And Anizimov's not happy. Yet you don't say. You don't say. Don't worry. There's a decent chance I'm just going to flip you at the deadline, because it makes no sense to have you on this team. I think that is the game plan here. Our coach is pissed off. Let's just try to persuade you again, because there's literally nothing I can do. Literally nothing I can do. Thank you very much, Drake Maverick, for being all right with that. So I think that is the game plan here. We're gonna take a slow and steady approach. We're gonna sim towards the deadline and see really what we're dealing with in terms of, I mean, the record. The game plan's the same, though. I mean, the record is starting to slip as it should, which is really good news. But yeah, Artem Anisimov hopefully has some trade value. The morale system could cause issues, but Anisimov hopefully has trade value, and we're able to make this work. You're able to get something back, anything, Although, again, like we talked about, building this team solely out of Russians, it's going to be difficult because there aren't that many Russians available on the free agent list, so we're going to have to rely on already established talents hitting the market. And when they do, we give them all of the money. 7-28-2 as of January 1st. We are in dead last. Now, I did move the divisions around as well. I don't think I made note of that, so we'll take a quick look at the standings. We are in the Metro at the bottom, of course. Pittsburgh, Philly, and the Islanders in the top 3. The Atlantic Division sees Carolina there now, although they are, at the top of the division, which is kind of crazy. In the Central, we moved Detroit back over to the Western Conference as God intended. As Ivan Barbashev is leading this team in points. So a quick look. We don't even need to look at the team stats yet, do we? I don't think we do. It's going to be brutal. Let's get to February. We'll take a look around. We'll take a look at some stats. And we'll take a look at whether or not any of our players actually have any trade value, because that would be tremendous. Although, again, like Renat Valiev, there's going to be no value there. But if I can get like a 4th for him, why the hell not? Artem Anisimov, if we can sneak a 3rd-round pick, that could be crucial for us in terms of our ability to maybe make a trade to trade up at the draft. So slow and steady is the approach, because we have no choice. This is going to be a process, no doubt about it. Erwin, do you not know what you signed up for, buddy? Do you not know what you signed up for, sir? Because, it's about time you realized what the hell's going on here. It's going to be a bad time for you. The funny thing is, it actually gave us a half-decent coaching staff out of the gates. The free agents that were available weren't that good, so I didn't really have to worry about any of that. We'll take a look at the class again here. Lafreniere, obviously the consensus number 1. That's how the ratings are shaping up. Orpik, of course, computer generated, as is Ben. Amarov right now 19th in Central Scouting. That could help us out quite a bit. So a few more games here before we hit February 1st. Obviously, this was absolutely horrific of a season. We did all right. Like, we had 6 wins and like 8 losses, and now it's just fallen off of a cliff, which is great. So Anisimov is leading this team in points. Let's take another quick look around the league, both in terms of the standings and stats, and then we'll take a look at our team and see what we could look to do moving forward. So Pittsburgh, Philadelphia, New Jersey, top of the heap, and then we have 17 points. 17. Jesus. In the Atlantic, it's Boston, Florida, and Buffalo. They also have both wildcard spots. The Central is Colorado, Chicago, and Nashville. Minnesota kicking around. The Pacific, San Jose, Edmonton, Anaheim, and Vegas. If the Sharks don't blow it in the playoffs in Season 1, I'm going to be upset. Player stat-wise, again, we know that Anisimov is leading this team in points. Barbashev is there. Kravtsov has 26 points. You could argue whether or not he should be in the minors for the rest of the year. He's obviously super happy about the ice time, though. And got signed to that contract because we were under the cap. Oh, boy. Yep, that's the mistake I made. I forgot to sign people. So it auto-adjusted some salaries to make sure that we were cap compliant. The good thing is a lot of these guys aren't signed long-term, but my ability to now trade Artem Anisimov just got a lot more difficult, even with him on 50% salary. Defensively, Keegan Lowe, hey, good for you for having nearly 20 points. Renat Valiev is awful. And then those save percentages, though. All right, so the Anisimov trade just got a little bit more difficult. Goaltending-wise, Grubauer is the winningest goaltender, although really it's more Martin Jones, who has an ungodly save percentage, the only goalie in the league above a .933. We're on medium scoring, and these are the save percentages that we're seeing. It's kind of crazy to me. Like, I feel like medium scoring, you should see a couple of guys flirting with a .930, a handful or two of guys over, closing in on a .920. I don't know. It's tough to say. But actually, maybe not. Maybe it's decent enough. And let's take a look quickly. Defenseman Schultz and Erik Karlsson leading the way. Thomas Chabot also up there. Jones and Dumba are the top 5. Cale Makar's up there as a rookie. And then forward-wise, Connor McDavid is killing it. You have McDavid up there, McKinnon, Kane. It's all the kind of pairings that you would expect. Evgeny Malkin is doing extremely well. Ovechkin, no real surprise there. Malkin, though, leading the league in goals. One of 5 players to have at least 30. Svechnikov, McKinnon, and Ovechkin all on 33. The assist king is David Pastrnak. As rookie skater-wise, Capo Caco is in the lead for the Calder. Makar and Hughes, the other 2 at the top. So looking here, we're not going to find much in terms of trade value. My ability to trade Artem Anisimov has fallen apart. The only guy we have that has a lot of value is Kravtsov, and I think we're stuck with him. I think we're keeping him. Stuck with him makes it sound like an issue. Although Keegan Lowe, I don't really feel fair. I don't really feel right trading him to try and get somebody who's half decent because his value is inflated by his performance right now. Artem Anisimov is the one guy that we could look to trade. Whether or not there's anybody decent enough out there for us to get right now that's on the block, I don't know. I highly, highly doubt it. So for now, I think what we're going to look to do in the next episode is finish simming the regular season and get to the draft as soon as possible, because there is no sunshine or happiness where we are with this team right now.